Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We actually got a surprise new update now live in Warzone and Modern Warfare 3 that includes some pretty significant weapon changes. I gotta say, I apologize for the extra perspirated Zach. COD loves dropping patch notes when I'm in the middle of working out. It was leg day today, so I'm kind of dying here. But regardless, we do have some new updates to go through and break down. Previously, COD Updates has been posting a lot of new changes that have gone live that we have yet to cover, so just briefly going through some of these, and then obviously the weapon patch notes and the new meta changes. If you guys enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It's always really appreciated. And if you are new to the channel or you simply have not subscribed yet, every single day I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. It's all right here, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But initially here, an update for Modern Warfare 3. Gun game has been temporarily removed from the quick play filter while we investigate an issue causing players to spawn without a weapon. So, you know, just a slight problem there if you go to load in a gun game and everyone else has a gun and you don't. So if you're looking to play gun game right now, you cannot do that through the quick play filter whatsoever. It will be back though, obviously, once they resolve that issue. Now, earlier on today, there were a lot of server issues going on, unfortunately. So for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, they did post like a little bit of a notice saying, hey, we're investigating an issue causing some players to encounter a server queue upon launching the game, and you'd have to wait for that to go through or relaunch and hope you could get in. But they have gone through and they have updated that. So this patch is now out for MW3 and Warzone. Impacted players are now able to log back into the game. We appreciate your patience as our team work to resolve this disruption. So if you were having server issues earlier and you're like, okay, you know what? Not playing today, I'm good. If you want to jump back on, you shouldn't run into that server issue anymore. Raven also posted a community poll today in regards to the zombie power-ups. He's been live on Fortune's Keep. Things like Zarkur, which increase your movement speed and whatnot. You've got the glasses, and it gives you like x-ray vision, and you can see player highlights. There's fire sale, all sorts of stuff like that. They said, time for a Warzone community poll. Zombie power-ups have been in Fortune's Keep over the past 2 weeks, which got us thinking, how would you like to see them in Urzikstan as well for the next 2 weeks? And I voted for the Chaos because I knew it wasn't going to win, but you could have the option to bring them to Urzikstan or vote for them to stay in Fortune's Keep. There's 2 days left on this poll as of the time that this video is going up. I think it's safe to say, though, they're not going to be coming to Urzikstan based on the results so far. Like I said, I figured Fortune's Keep and having them stay there was going to be the favorable choice, so I wanted to see what my percentage was like, and well, it's 30-70, so definitely not something that's going to swing a ton, I would imagine, over the coming days, considering there's already almost over 11,000 votes. But if you want to voice your input here, it's on Raven's Twitter at Raven Software. And then lastly, for the Twitter patch notes, before we head over to the actual patch notes page, they say we've amended the season 2 initial patch notes to an improvement made to the medbox fuel upgrade that increases viability upon use. The reduced healing delay effect will now persist until death, which makes the medbox a really solid field upgrade choice moving forward. So if you're interested in testing that out, it's better than ever right now. But then we get our actual patch notes page, and this is on the Modern Warfare 3 and Zombies side of things. We also have specific Warzone updates to go through as well. Initially here, they say for Friday, February 16th, progression, the Cryptid Bootcamp event. They enabled the DM56 and MCW 6.8 conversion kits to progress the Prophetic Squish Challenge, which requires you to use a marksman rifle and a target finder, and I think stalker boots, and get kills with those equipped in order to get that challenge. So now if you're trying to track that, you can use the Tier Beholder kit, you can use the Jack Signal Burst kit on the DM56, or the full auto conversion kit on the MCW 6.8. There was a lot of tracking issues going on with that. Players are trying all sorts of different conversions and it just wasn't working. So they've enabled all 3 of those to work and track now. So if you're going for those Cryptid Bootcamp rewards, that specific challenge should now function as intended and should be way easier to actually progress. We also have some weapon updates on the multiplayer side of things, specifically here regarding the TTK Evolver. No real surprise here, but 7.62 ammo. They resolved an issue causing recoil not to function as intended. So obviously they nerfed the RPM on the 7.62 ammo and basically made it so that the TTK Evolver had no recoil whatsoever. It was absolutely nuts. There is now recoil there instead. It's still not crazy, like it's still a really good build, but it's not going to be like 0 recoil like it was before. Also on the 5.56 ammo, they decreased the ADS sight movement speed benefit, so you're not going to have as crazy of a strafe speed. They increased the vertical recoil control by 40%. They decreased the maximum damage by 4. They also decreased the neck, upper torso, and upper arm multipliers, so it's going to do less damage there in the close range than to the multipliers in general. So that is a slight nerf and a bit of a rework on the 5.56 ammo. I still think it's a great choice, but for multiplayer specifically, this is just, like I said, more of a rework than anything else. And then on the Warzone side of things, we got much more specific patch notes for these weapons, or for this weapon. The TTK Evolver, again, was the main focus here. So, 4 weapon adjustments on the 7.62 ammo here. The max damage was reduced by 5. So, that's its close range damage. It's not going to be crazy good. If you're pre-aimed in like 10 meters now, it's going to be doing a decent bit less damage. The max damage range was also reduced by about 4 meters. That's something. I mean, you can still use attachments to extend that range back out, but it's 4 meters less on that really quick TTK area. And keep in mind, this is the 7.62 ammo. It was also really good in the mid-range and the close range. Near to mid damage range was also reduced by about 4 meters. So again, just limiting the severity of that super fast TTK. The neck damage modifier or multiplier was reduced a little bit, so those neck shots won't do as much damage. Upper torso and upper arm modifiers were also nerfed there, and the upper leg modifier was reduced. So basically, you got to be hitting headshots to have a crazy TTK, and if you're hitting anything besides that now, it's going to be a little bit slower. Again, still pretty solid for the mid to long range. Nerfing its close range efficiency on the 7.62 ammo I think is kind of funny, just because that is where it was pretty good, but really the mid-range is where it thrives the most there. And then on the 5.56 ammo, they made a lot of updates to the 100 and the 200 round 5.56 belts. The max damage was reduced, so that's its close range. That crazy broken TTK no longer going to be as viable. The max damage range was also reduced a little bit here, so again, hurting that super crazy broken TTK. Headshot multiplier was reduced, so headshots won't count for as much. Neck, upper torso, and upper arm multipliers also nerfed, so all upper body shots basically are not going to be that crazy. And they nerfed the lower arm multiplier as well. So the damage, the TTK of the 5.56 ammo is not going to be nearly as crazy good as it was pre-update. They did actually end up buffing the near to mid damage though, which is kind of surprising. That makes it more effective in the mid range. Near to mid damage range was reduced though. Oh, a ton. That's why they're doing that. They buffed the mid range damage, but they nerfed the range by 20 meters. So the mid range there is going to be super limited to close range, where you're pretty much going to be fighting SMGs now. With these damage changes, I have a feeling that a lot of SMGs are going to be a bit more practical there. You could get away with using this, but it's not going to be like what it was this past week. Also, with like the TTK stance builds and whatnot, that's not going to be as viable either. They added a new mid damage set to 22. They added a mid damage range set at 45 meters, so that's another damage drop off there. That's also very significant. They reduced the strafe benefits by 10%, and they reduced the vertical recoil by 40%. So maybe a little bit easier to use, but its damage is not going to be hitting like it was before. So essentially, the broken TTK Evolver meta had a couple of days of like a lifespan, I guess you could say, but it is now nerfed. It is more balanced now. I still think it's a good gun. Like for the long range meta, the 7.62 build is still very viable in my opinion. For the mid range meta, the 5.56 ammo could be pretty decent as well, but it's not going to be this crazy broken either no recoil laser beam over 100 meters or insanely fast TTK strafe LMG at close range. They've balanced it out, and now the meta is kind of back to where it was before that surprise update earlier on this week. So they were pretty quick to fix this. That said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always up to date with all things going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.